It really is her. Both of you. Boop, boop. There we go. Okay. I guess is it okay to launch in, Courtney?
Yep. Go right ahead.
Awesome. Okay. So we've got Tim Wood and Sapphire Sandalo.
Sandalo.
Sandalo. I knew I was going to put the pronunciation wrong. I'm like,
you did great.
I tried, but luckily, can I just call you both Tim and Sapphire?
Sure. Yeah.
Ooh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining, and congratulations on this. I would call it historic and massive new series. I don't know. It's a big one, right? I mean, wow.
Yeah. Thank you. It was it was just an amazing show to work on. We had the team that we had out there. The investigative team was just awesome to be a part of it. And to be able to get results for the family, I think was probably the most gratifying thing for the team. To actually help them, through these experiences that they were having on the ranch was amazing.
Oh, that's even better. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's good to hear, because when people see, I only saw the first 3 episodes. Thank you for the screeners, by the way. But that you get hooked. I mean, it's one of those you want to binge. Like you're like, no, do like Netflix and drop it. Binge it.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes the show really special too, is the fact that we were able to focus on one family for such a long time. Whereas I feel like most paranormal shows, a case gets 1 episode and then you move on. But we were really able to focus on the Broussard family and help them. So I think that's
dive
really cool.
in massive ways, and in a lot of different ways. Lots of research and that we see in bits in other shows, but you guys went deep, literally, actually, and
really deep. Yeah, I did things I never had done before, and that was, it was just an experience, and it's just, I think I know myself, and I heard, Sarah say this, and Sapphire and Scott, we all learned, a lot from, the investigation in the show. It really challenged us in many ways, in ways that I never thought I'd be challenged before. So that's, it was quite an experience.
Wow. And was this like the biggest investigation that you both have worked on, or?
For me, good. Yeah, for me, by far. For me, by far, it was. I mean, just the sheer size of the property, and it wasn't like all the building, all the buildings that were brought there from other ghost towns in Montana. So having each one of these buildings with their own histories, and the history of the land and the family's history, it just was super challenging, to kind of dig through all this stuff and try to figure out, what is really, affecting the family. That's, I don't know about you, Sapphire, but that was like one of the main challenges for me.
Oh, for sure. I mean, just the size of the place that we were dealing with. But I mean, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so everything was big for me. But it was really exciting, and there's something else I wanted to say, but it left me. But that's okay.
I love when that, and then it'll come back.
Yeah.
Hey, it came back if it does while we're still talking. So yes, I have that happen. I don't know what that phenomena is called, but it happened.
Brain fart, I think, is the official term.
I wasn't sure if I was amongst the right company to say that. I was thinking it, so that's awesome. Okay. Oh, and which, you said that there was a lot of buildings there and a lot to choose from, but which one did you use as your base camp?
The jail.
It looked like that, but I wanted to confirm. So, and that was one of the lesser active ones.
And it just felt, Courtney, it felt homey. I don't know how else to describe it. a lot of the other buildings there did not feel that way.
Mm-mm.
And it just, when we did our first walkthrough, I think when Sapphire and I were there first day, we had to pick a building, you know, to put all of our stuff in, and it just felt, for whatever reason. I mean, you wouldn't think a jail would feel homey, but that was the one. Yeah,
But that maybe in a past life, like you were a sheriff or something.
maybe.
No, I don't know. But it looked actually very cute and cozy in there too. So
Yeah,
from what we could see.
yeah.
So that's awesome. And then I had a question because a lot of it was really like, is it the buildings that's haunted? Is it the land that's haunted? Is it the families that's haunted? But Montana has an interesting, and Anaconda, where you were, it's not that far from Butte, and they have the Berkeley Pit, which is a toxic, for those who don't know, it's a toxic old copper mine pit, right? That is part of some super fun cleanup thing. And did you guys go visit there? I mean, people can pay $2 or $3 and visit. Did you guys go at all, or nah?
I did not. I don't know if you did, Tim.
I took a walk there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I took
Okay.
a walk there, and yeah, it's to me, it's just crazy, like how much devastation like we can cause to our environment, you know. And that was like one of the things. I mean, if anybody ever goes out there, you know, it's such a pretty area, but there's parts of it where they did all the mining. To me, it's just, you know, it's just this fight between, you know, nature and you know, humans up there, you know. And just to see you know, how much devastation we can cause by, you know, mining and stuff like that. It's amazing, you know. So it was really eye-opening to see like how this huge large pit, and you know, like even when you drive into Anaconda, you would see this
giant
huge
hills. I don't even know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just this leftover copper slag is what they call it. It's just it's like this gray dirt that's just, I mean, you would think that, you know, when you're driving, you know, maybe like 10, you can see it from 10 miles out. It's just this huge hill of leftover byproduct from the mills up there.
Wow.
So yeah, it's but you know, it's a super pretty area too. So you have like when I went up to hiking, which I'm sure you've seen, it's just it's so amazingly, and it's like breathtaking, like some of the, you know, the sights you see. But then there's just this other side to it, which, you know, in lots of ways is very similar to like what Karen was, you know, experiencing like on her property. You know, she has a beautiful property, but there's this whole other side to it, like, you know, the dark paranormal activity that she was experiencing, which I thought was very, you know, true to just kind of like what's, you know, happening around there.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you guys think that maybe this mining and the residual effects could affect? I mean, I know you guys found a lot of stuff that there is just a whole lot that goes in with everything. But did you consider that at all? Like there's one EVP you got and it said mine, and it naturally we might think mine is possessive, like that's mine, but could it be mine like the mining?
Sapphire, do you want to do this one? I don't know how detailed. I mean,
I know, like what?
I know it's awkward. Like, what do you say?
I mean,
we definitely did consider that. Like,
yeah. I think because one of the other things we were considering is you know, if the land itself was the reason for all these hauntings, and if you just look at the history of this place, the land has basically been, you know, torn up and abused. And so if there are land spirits, ancestral spirits living in there, then they might be upset, and that could also contribute to a haunting. And that's definitely something that we explored. I don't know if I answered that question, but
yes. And you did it great because like there's really no giveaway, but there is, but there it's great. That was awesome.
Sweet.
Okay, and then let's see. Oh, and do you think though that I don't know, and tell me, say, nah, we're not going to talk about that. But the former owner, Sherry, and this Colorado cowboy that I think Pat called him that. Uh, do you think they really experience, and even Karen to some extent has expressed as really deep despair to the point they're suicidal. In the Colorado Cowboys case, he was. Do you think that? I mean, there's just so much. Like, do you think that it all just comes together? All of it, the environment, the spirits, the history, and just weighs on folks.
I think people, one thing I found really fascinating is that people seem to get called out to these places. I don't know how how much of it. Yeah, people like in Karen's case, she got called out to this property. It's almost like the property found her. And same thing in Sherry's case, the property definitely found her. And I think when you have something dark, like a dark presence, that's I don't think it's only affecting this property. I think it's the whole Anaconda area. But I think something in that area is calling people out there, and I think that definitely I don't know, Sapphire. I don't know. I'm trying not to be trying to give too much away, but
I think that was good right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
You guys are doing really good at this. Like, I'm like, wow, I would be like, I don't know that I can say. You guys are doing great. So, and then, and for Sapphire, there's a scene you get choked up in front of the log cabin, and it really, I mean, like, even I was getting choked up for you. Have you ever experienced anything like that before?
No, I was genuinely embarrassed that it was happening just because it happened so suddenly and I didn't know why. And I was like, I was embarrassed, like that was the feeling. But I don't know. There's something about that building that I don't know, it messes with you.
Has
So,
a bat. It's not homey like the jail.
mm-mm.
Mm-mm. No. No. And then for Tim, when you were just talking about, getting called out, which kind of in a way, this place has sort of called to you. I mean, obviously it was Karen who called to you guys,
Yeah.
but in a way, did you guys kind of feel like it just dawned on me? I have another question for you too about being called to something, but did you guys kind of feel like, I feel I was meant to be here?
For me, yes. I think there are a lot of weird synchronicities that seem to be popping up, throughout the time that we were out there. And definitely I felt that we were supposed to be out there, at that point in time to help Karen. And yeah, I don't know about you, Sapphire, but that's how I felt. I felt like we were definitely supposed to be there at that point in time.
Yeah, I agree. Even like on the show and off or on camera and behind camera, I feel like there were so many things that happened for me personally that made me grow so much in so many different ways. So, yes, we were also there to help this family, but I also feel like it was part of this sounds so corny, my bigger purpose, my bigger purpose too. So, yeah, I agree.
No, that sounds reasonable because it kind of
Yeah.
feels that way watching the show, but I wasn't sure if seems like that. But okay, so now I think this will be the last question I'll have time for. I know when people are going to see the first episode, they're going to want to know, if they don't know already about Tim, do you still own your haunted house?
No, I
No.
don't. No, I that was by far one of the just like this experience, there were a lot of synchronicities with Karen and myself in terms of how we were called out to properties. But in my case, I quickly realized that buying a haunted property is, even as an investigator, is not something that I would recommend to anyone. Not because of, for me, it was having, and just like Karen, seeing the effects that it has not only on the person who bought it, but the family, and that is, something that I would never want to put myself through again.
So I guess for Sapphire, I do
It's a
have
warning.
one last question then from that. Would you ever buy a haunted property knowing the Karen and Tim story?
You know what's funny? Me and my husband just bought a house, and I think it's haunted. But like good haunted, like not like bad vibes. Good.
More Casper and less Annabelle, I guess.
But hey, time will tell. I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, like in another year, maybe there will be a show for you now.
Exactly. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Well, I'll just say thank you guys so much for agreeing to do this, and congratulations on the show. And I'm really excited for people to see it so that they understand more of this conversation.
Well, thank you so much for having us. This was really fun.
Thank you, Courtney.
Oh yeah, thank you, and happy weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.